Here we go then, they are underway, and Jo Rousel is the rider who's going to lead off for Great Britain. She normally does 1 3/4 lap turns to get the team up to speed. I was talking to her earlier on today and she said it's so hard on this velodrome. She said because everything we do in team pursuiting is down to 1/10 of a second. We train so hard to 1/10 of a second in a sterile atmosphere. In Manchester, we know exactly what the temperature is. We know exactly what our turns are. We know our formations. We know when to change. And here, she said earlier, I'm in a headwind going down the back straight, and it's like riding a team time trial on the road. So difficult to gauge. She also said the compression in the bends means that it's so hard to keep your line, and therefore, if there's a slight wind, you've got the compressions in the turns you're having to really deal with, and then down the back straight in the qualification, she was in a headwind, and in the tailwind sections, you're having to sprint to stay on the wheels of the riders in front. So we'll see how these teams do. Who's going to take the gold medal? Through the opening 1,000 metres, and Canada are quickest. 1:9.374. Great Britain 1:9.769. If Canada took this gold medal, it would be a big, big surprise, but don't discount it. They have been getting faster in the World Cups. They've been looking really well drilled. Made up of Laura Brown, the bronze medalist in 2013, a bronze medalist in London 2012. Jasmine Glazer with the same medals in both those events. The 20-year-old Alison Beveridge and the 27-year-old Stephanie Rauder, and they do look strong. Great Britain made up of Laura Trott, the Olympic and world champion. Katie Archibald is the new member of the team, a world record holder, but the untested rider in a world championship. Eleanor Barker, the world champion of last year in the team pursuit, and Joanna Rousel. But I must admit, in the ride-off for the qualification, even although they're quickest, Great Britain looked a lot more ragged than I've ever seen them. Danny King has had to sit out this final. She's had a little bit of knee injury, having crashed twice during the winter, but she has the experience, and now Canada are really revving this up, and this is a surprise. Through the 2,000 metre point, and it is Canada leading, 2:13.156. Great Britain in 2:14.259, but now Canada lose a rider. Is this the tactic they've decided to adopt? The British team now starting to come back a little bit. 0.999, a very early point for Canada to lose a rider. On the front is Jo Rousel for Great Britain. Leading the Canadians is Laura Brown. 2 bronze medals to her name in Olympic and World Championships. And now they have to get this right. They have to really drive on. At the back of the string, one of the British riders losing the wheel, which is a big surprise. She's having to try and just shut up the gap a little bit, look like Jo Rousel. And on the front there is Katie Archibald, who was only riding grass track racing 2 years ago and is now in a world title fight. And it's still Great Britain are down. 3:17.727 for the Canadians. 3:18.303 for Great Britain. Now they really have to ramp it up. Suddenly Great Britain, for the first time in a team pursuit, are under a bit of pressure, and Canada are looking very, very good. This is looking strong from Canada. Now Great Britain go ahead for the first time. It's very, very close now between these squads, but Great Britain with 4 riders, Canada with 3. Britain now really start to turn the heat up, but they do look a lot more ragged as Laura Trott does a big turn on the front. It's close, very, very close. Who's going to take this one? They are all over the place. The time is taken on the 3rd rider. Who's going to take it? Great Britain are looking really ragged. They've got 1 rider off the back. Great Britain could be losing it. Canada could take this, but Britain hit the line. Somehow they just held on. 4:23, 4:07 to 4:24, 6:96, and for the first time ever in a team pursuit in the last 12 months, Great Britain looked under pressure, looked ragged, but they still brought home the gold, just beating Canada in 4:24.696.